Hello and welcome to the city of Fuzhou, the capital of Fujian province on the southeast coast of China. It's finals day at the Thaihot China Open, the 11th of the 12 tournaments that make up the MetLife BWF World Superseries. And the China Open is also the 5th of the 5 premier events, an even higher tier of tournament within the Super Series. Plus, of course, we have the Super Series finals, the end-of-year championships. Just the top 8 players and pairs in each of the 5 disciplines go to Dubai for the Super Series finals. Well, it's finals day today, as I say, and it is possible for only the 9th time in the history of the Super Series that the 5 titles could go to players from 5 different nations. We're starting with women's doubles, and one of these 2 pairs guaranteed a first ever Super Series title. Will it be Huang, Dongping and Yinhui, or Chang and Li So-hee? Then it's women's singles and Sun Yu in a 4th Super Series tournament final this year, still looking for her first title of 2016. She's up against the Olympic silver medalist Pusala Venkata Sindhu in only her 2nd Super Series tournament final. Then it's men's doubles and the Indonesians Gideon and Sukamuljo looking for a 3rd Super Series title this year. They're up against the 2-time former champions Bo and Mogensen, today appearing in their 4th final here at the China Open. Then it's men's singles, and one of these 2 players will win a first Super Series title of the year. Will it be Jan Jorgensen, beaten finalist here in China 7 years ago? Or will it be the world and Olympic champion in his 6th final here today, the 3-time former champion Chen Long? Then we finish with mixed doubles, and Chang and Li Yinhui in only their 2nd tournament together, a 2nd final of the day for Li. Can she win the doubles double? They're up against the Olympic gold medalists and 2013 winners Tontowi Ahmad and Liliana Nasir. Well, that's the order of play, and with women's doubles first, a chance for us to look at the destination Dubai rankings. And after this week here in China, the number 1 and 2 places will stay the same, but the Danes Pedersen and Yule will move up 2 places from number 5 to 3. Now, the number 6 pair who are in the final today, well, win or lose today's final, they're going to move up 2 places to number 4. Well, as far as the women's draw is concerned, by quarter-final stage, we had 5 different nations involved and just 5 seeds, only 1 seed, as you can see, in the top half of the draw, and that was the Olympic silver medalists, the Danes, Yule and Pedersen. By semi-final stage, 2 Chinese pairs, just 3 different nations and 3 seeds, and now we're down to the last 2, the unseeded combination of Huang Dongping and Li Yinhui up against the number 6 seeds Chang and Li So-hee. Li So-hee and Chang incidentally in their 2nd consecutive Super Series tournament final, because they were beaten finalists in Paris at the French Super Series. So this is our first final of the day, the women's doubles.
观众朋友们，本场比赛将要进行的是女子双打的决赛。
The first match will be women's doubles.
让我们用热烈的掌声欢迎
as the introductions are made to the fans, I'm delighted to say that Steen Pedersen, former head coach of the Danish national team, sitting alongside me, and it's a wonderful thing, Steen, that whichever pair wins today, for all 4 players, it's not just as pairs, all 4 players, they won, 2 of them will win their first ever Super Series title.
Yeah, sorry, just had to put my mic on. Yeah, that's a fantastic thing, and always nice to see new kids on the block in women's doubles.
And they certainly are new kids on the block, aren't they? Huang Dongping and Li Yinhui. This, their first ever Super Series tournament final in only their 5th tournament together. They burst onto the world stage when they played their first senior tournament together last year at the Thailand Grand Prix Gold. They won. And who did they beat in the final? Their opponents of today.
本场比赛裁判员拉普拉亚
Well, they were semi-finalists, having been promoted from the qualifying in Paris, the young Chinese pair. And of course their opponents beat them in that semi-final to reach the final, where they then lost to another young and exciting Chinese pair, Chang and Yinhui. So the all-important toss of the coin. First duty of the umpire. Players have a choice of one of three options. They can choose to serve, they can choose to receive, or they can choose which end of the court they wish to start. So as far as the Chinese players are concerned, they're both very young, 19 and 21. But the left-hander is Chang. She's 26 years of age. And this, for the left-hander, there she is, born in Seoul, is her 5th Super Series tournament final, her 3rd with her partner of today, because last year they reached the final in Korea. And then the French, as I mentioned. And she was also in the final of the Malaysian Super Series last year with Dongping. And if you were with us earlier in the week, we were talking about her being in the final of the China Masters mixed doubles with Young Sung. So Lee So-hee is 22 years of age. We've got 21, I think she's 22, turned 22 on the 14th of June from Ulsan. And as you can see, they had a bye in the first round, but their quarter-final match against the number 2 seeds, the Olympic bronze medalists, that was a very convincing win against Jung and Shin. And then in their semi-final, they beat the former world number 1s, the number 4 seeds, Luo Ying and Luo Yu. They had to come from 17-19 down in that second game before winning it 24-22. So Li Yinhui in 2 finals today. She's 19 years of age from Wuhan, the capital of Hubei province. And they're currently 58 in the world ranking as we look at the 21-year-old Huang Dongping from this very province, Fujian province. And they, as I say, are only playing their 5th ever tournament together, and what a tournament they've had. Well, they had players from Chinese Taipei in the first round. In the second round, they had the number 1 seeds and Olympic champions. They lost the first game, scraped through the second with a little bit of controversy helping them. And then in the deciding game, they came from 15-19 down, saved a match point at 19-20 before winning through 22-20 an hour and 36 minutes. In the quarter-final, they beat Gabriela and Stephanie Stoyeva. The Bulgarians had reached the quarter-final without playing a match. And in the semi-final, they beat the number 3 seeds, Camilla Rutayul and Christina Pedersen, the Olympic silver medalists. Well, as you saw, this will be the 4th meeting between these 2 pairs. I've already told you about 2 of their meetings. Sometime the last time they met was that semi-final of the French Open. I was telling you about 2 straight games in favour of the Koreans, who have won 2 of the 3 previous meetings. Well, whichever pair wins, not only their first ever Super Series title for each individual player, it will be an 8th different pair winning the Women's Doubles Super Series title at the 11th tournament this year.
Huang Dongping and Yinhui, China. Yinhui to serve to Lee So-hee. Play.
How nice it is that we can hear the umpire today. I think he's got microphone and PA across the whole of the stadium. We we've had a setup here, which is we can either listen to ourselves or we can listen to the umpire. And I need to know what you're saying, Steve. Words of wisdom. So I've chosen to listen to you.
I can tell you, I have the umpire in my ear.
No, you don't. Anyway, this is going to be an interesting match, isn't it? I think these two Chinese players, very athletic, very exciting.
And this is a look into the future of women's doubles. I think both sides of the net. We saw the Koreans
just wide.
A challenge.
Oh, challenge. Goodness me. This early on. Oh, I thought it was wide. We've talked all week about the fact we're on an angle, so we can't see straight down the lines, but that did look out to me. And you've been talking about the drift, which is left to right, which would help take that shuttle a little bit wide of that particular line. But we'll wait for Hawkeye to...
Hope they've warmed up well, Hawkeye, so they're ready here from the go.
Oh, while we're waiting for Hawkeye, I can tell you that Korean pairs have only won the women's doubles title here at the China Open once previously. That was 25 years ago, 1991. Chung Myung-hee and Wang Haiyang won on that occasion. The last time original call stands. Now, what does that mean? That Hawkeye haven't got it?
That probably means that they hadn't warmed up all their gear. Can't make a decision, so the original call
will
can
stand.
Of course not be changed
No.
when we're not able to review it. And of course the Chinese pair should not be charged a challenge for that. Yeah.
2, 1.
But before the challenge there, I was about to say that we've seen the Korean pairs in the year up to the, that's 2 years before the Olympics. They've been shuffling around their women's doubles combination, and we must say that it seems like they've found two very, very strong pairings. Managed to do it just, they switched actually inside the Olympic qualification period, which is a little bit risky, but managed to qualify both pairs and got a bronze medal. Not this pair though. So we've just seen them improve during this 2016 year, in my opinion, and in that way it's logical that they are standing here in a Premier Final.
Yes, it's their third Super Series tournament final together, but their first Premier final. It's going wide. Now in total, Korea have had 4 previous finalists in the women's doubles here at the China Open. Last finalists were 20 years ago. In 1996, Huang and Park So-young lost out to Huang and Thaihot. Thaihot now lives in Australia.
It's not so long ago since she played tournaments, I think.
No, that's right.
The Uber Cup for Australia.
No, it got taken wide by the deflection off the top of the tape. with venom from Li Yinhui.
Service over. 5, 4. Yes. Play.
Error on the low serve.
Service over. 5 all.
Well, since the inception of the Super Series in 2007, so 9 years of the Super Series, Chinese pairs have won the women's doubles title here at the China Open on every occasion.
It's funny you say that because you gave the stat about Chong Myung-hee and Huang winning the China Open. I actually thought that the first non-Chinese pair to win the China Open was Vita Marisa and Liliana Nasir, but apparently I didn't look that far back to Chong Myung-hee's time.
And I think didn't they win the China Masters?
Yeah, I think you're right. But it was on Chinese soil.
Yeah.
I think you're right, it was China Masters.
The very first China Open, back in 1986, first ever women's doubles winners were from Indonesia, Ivana Lee and Virawati.
And that was two players who were mostly playing women's singles.
7, 6.
Ivana Lee Yinhui, I think was her full name.
And I played against her in singles in the World Cup. I know you chuckled to think of me on a singles court, but...
Yeah, but I think Ivana, she'll remember it.
8, 6.
Good start for Huang and Lee here. And you've lost the two previous encounters. You really want to get off to a good start.
Service over. 7, 8.
Strings have gone in the racket of Lee So-hee.
Service over. 9, 7. 10 seconds.
Well, their semi-final in Paris, Steen, I had half an eye on it when these two pairs played against each other. Scoreline seemed quite convincing, 21-14, 21-18, but it was just 3 minutes shy of the hour mark. There was some brutal rallies in there.
9, 7. Play.
highly motivated, the Chinese pair, and of course every pair in a Premier Series final would be that, but these two youngsters, they've got some big shoes to fill. Lots of expectation on their shoulders, and I think China would rate a victory here in women's doubles very highly when you take into account the Olympics where they didn't get a medal.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I made very great play of how exceptional it was for Chen to win her first doubles double in Paris. Doubles, women's doubles and mixed doubles. I mean, we've got a possibility of it happening here with another Chinese youngster, Yinhui. And the last time we had back-to-back doubles winners by different players, you have to go back all the way to 2008, when we had Yang won the doubles double in France. Li Yongday is the only man to have won a doubles double, and it was here in China. And then the Hong Kong the following week, so we had it happened in 3 consecutive Super Series. Zhang Yawen. I mean, with Chinese youngsters, I mean, when we talk about talent, and we were talking about it earlier in the week, weren't we? And how ready they are.
Yeah, and I mean, it should silence the critics of. There's been some criticism from what I've read going on in the Chinese media after the not so strong performance by sort of China standards in the Olympics, that it wasn't going well, and I think Li Yongbo made some very good comments and saying things go up and down in badminton. I mean, you can't stay on the top forever, and he felt that they had the successes ready, and I think they've proved that they are ready.
Yeah.
So many exciting youngsters coming up.
Across all 5 disciplines.
Yeah, there are.
Xu Uchi in the men's singles,
Exactly.
He Bingjiao in the women's singles, a couple of women's doubles pairs, mixed doubles pairs.
In men's doubles, Li Yinhui and Yu Chen didn't make a big impact in this tournament, but has played well and won.
Japan, and then lost in the final
Yeah.
following week in Korea. Yeah. Should we be concerned that both the Chinese players have got strapping on their legs today, whereas only one did yesterday?
Perhaps
Not
a little
really.
bit. I mean, it's been a long tournament for Li Yinhui, who's going to play the last match here today in the mixed doubles.
Well, it's
She's
been-
probably been in 2 finals before, but I'm not sure at this level here, and that means that she's had to play high quality matches, 2 matches a day for 5 days now.
Yeah, and on the back of, or prior to that, they of course played the Denmark Super Series, the French Super Series, and the Bitburger Grand Prix Gold the following week, the Chinese youngsters. So, like us, not much rest in between. Cope with jet lag, having come from Europe, and lots of matches in Europe.
And there'll probably also be a lot more attention from the Chinese media. Well played.
Yeah.
that's one of the things you have to cope with when you play on home soil. There is normally more attention, and especially if you do well, and it's a little bit of a surprise that you do well, which it is in many ways here, because no one could have said anything had they lost to the number one in the world, Matsutomo and Takahashi. But they beat them, and are sort of waving the Chinese flag here in women's doubles.
Yeah. I like their rotation.
Yeah,
play,
me
don't
too.
you? Yeah.
That's I've been a little bit critical with the way that the Chinese pairs have played women's doubles lately, where they played, in my opinion, too much front court player, back court player, and I felt that there were some possibilities of exploiting it, as the other countries, the other pairs' defense got better. They were able to stand their ground in the defense and put pressure on the backcourt player, but here they share the workload, and it makes it much more difficult for the opponents.
Service over. 16-11.
There. That was nice rotational play.
17-11.
You know, the funny thing is, when so often when we watch badminton players and we can see an improvement over a 6-month period, a year period, 2 years or whatever, I'm telling you that in the few weeks that I've watched this young Chinese pair, there's visible improvement. Visible. Just getting that experience at the senior level and exposed to this world-class badminton, and they've responded.
17.
Yeah, you get rid of some of the junior stuff that is not compatible at senior level.
Yeah, the sort of shots that you can maybe get away with at junior badminton because opponents, you know, have tactical naivety or perhaps don't have the power in the legs to change direction. Some of those shots you just can't, you won't get away with in senior badminton. And they've learned quickly. It's amazing. Oh, goodness gracious.
Service over. 13-18.
Look at that movement back in court. That's just phenomenal. So quick from Yinhui.
And they haven't, the Koreans, they haven't been able to get their defense going. The Chinese, they've punished them every time they play a little bit short. They are on the difficult side of the court, the Koreans, because they play with the drift, and I think the Chinese pair has exploited that perfectly. They've attacked them, taking the control of the rallies, and the Koreans themselves, whenever they've been in an attack, they haven't been able to score and sort of get that help from the drift that we sometimes see women's doubles pairs get when they play on the side where they play with the drift. Excellent defense again. And there's still a lot of things that could change in the second game, but what a great start for Huang and Li.
Yeah. 7 game point opportunities. 21-13. And the unseeded Chinese youngsters, Huang Dongping and Yinhui, looking very comfortable in game number 1. 21 minutes. So the players asked to return to courts. And if this Chinese pair go on to win one of the next 2 games and therefore take the title, they will be the 3rd unseeded pair and the 2nd consecutive unseeded pair to win a women's doubles title at a Super Series event.
Second game, level play.
Great defense.
Yeah.
Service over. 1 love.
Well, as I was saying earlier, Steen, I mean, whichever pair wins, it will be the 8th different pair to win at the 11th Super Series event of the year. Last year, we had 11 different pairs win the 12 tournaments. That was phenomenal. That was more different pairs than had ever happened before.
That was where we had all the shuffling going
Yes.
on with the Olympic
Yeah.
qualification period and figuring out who was going to play together and so on. So there's been
Service over. 1
healthy competition in women's doubles over the last 2 years. One of the things that I think is extraordinary watching Huang Dongping and Yinhui is that if you look at them and gather their individual playing style, then one of the all-time greatest women's doubles players and definitely a dominating player over the last 8 years, Yang, has retired. So I'm comparing these 2 players with Yang, and Yang, she was exceptional with her skill set. These 2 players, they have the same skill set,
Yeah.
in my opinion, and they play the mixed doubles well, both of them. One is in the final in this tournament, and we've seen Huang Dongping beating, for instance, Joachim Fischer and Christina Pedersen from Denmark and so on, so she can play the mixed doubles as well. Whereas Yang was more of a backcourt player. That was where her strengths were. These 2 players are more all-round, in my opinion, and that makes it harder to come up with a good strategy against them. And it also shows how badminton and women's doubles is developing.
Yeah.
So the stuff that that sort of made you the outstanding best women's doubles player in a period of 6 to 8 years, well, now there's at least 2 of them that are better.
Yeah.
So that means that the other pairs are also developing, and the quality of the game is just increasing so much.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fascinating. And that is high praise indeed for these 2 players we're looking at right now, because Huang has won this China Open title for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
With 2 different partners.
Huang Xiaoli and Tang.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Nice change of pace.
4-2.
Yeah, the Korean coach, Yinhui. Yinhui, you know, won a silver medal at the World Junior Championships with Li Huojung. Melbourne, 1998.
I don't recall him as regular player on the international circuit.
I don't think he really progressed into senior badminton.
It was if he was a doubles player, he was in for tough competition.
Yeah, strong era then. Yeah.
5.
With Hatakwon, Kim Dong-moon, Yo Yong-sung, Lee Dong-so.
Yeah. This is very, very interesting now. And I think the slight difference in ends with the drift that you've been talking about.
Yeah, it's playing a role.
Yeah.
It's easier for the Koreans to get the correct length on their lift. They can afford to stand closer to the net. But think back 2-3 years where the final in women's doubles, I mean, this rally, there were no clears.
No. Yeah.
2 or 3 years ago, there were a lot of clears and a lot of drops, a lot of lifts. So it's just a great development in women's doubles, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
That's also, I think, in many ways, Huang was a front runner and sort of set the standards. If she can have a technique like she had and do the things that she did in women's doubles, then why shouldn't everybody else could do that?
Yeah. Gosh, she's working hard, isn't she, Lisa? Oh, that may have been going long.
Yeah.
Good defense.
Now we have the clears.
Yeah. It's got to be the longest rally of the match so far, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth the hard work. I want to just come back to your point there, Steen, as we look at the end of that rally again, because I don't disagree about Huang and her quality. as an all-round player. But I thought the forerunners to that were Gefei and Gu Jun. I thought they played a really attacking game.
Yeah, they did.
And then, for some reason, women's doubles went a little bit negative. And we did, I totally agree with you. You know, we've been through a couple of spells where I think that women's doubles hasn't been about the attacking play. It's more been about clears and defence and so on. But I'm not sure that Yu Yang was the first. In my opinion, I think Gefei and Gu Jun took the game to a new level with their attacking play.
Yeah, I can very much agree with you on that. The thing that I think where she was the forerunner is that technically you shouldn't be satisfied with this, in quotation mark, a little bit girlish technique. And Yu Yang, I remember talking to one of the coaches that are still active, saying she's got a very sort of boyish technique. What is that? Boyish technique? Why should the boys be able to do something that the girls couldn't do? And I mean, we can see here that these two Chinese girls, they can do all the shots.
Yeah. And I think the interesting thing, I'm now understanding your comments more, because yes, the players now, the tournament referee has been called about something. Is there somebody using a flashlight photography? Yes, because the defensive shots, there's a shorter backswing.
Yeah.
The movement of the players, we're seeing it in women's singles as well. The female athletes are using jump smashes. They're using the dives in the way the men do, and it's making for very, very exciting disciplines.
And the only thing there is the jump smash perhaps is not as helpful for women as for men because of the difference in muscle power.
Yeah.
You get an extra angle advantage, but you have to cover a bigger court, so that's why it could be dangerous. But yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Perfect time. Oh, they're challenging.
Yeah.
But the jump there with disguise and creating that extra angle that you've just been talking about.
And that's only possible to make that jump smash because they have a certain technique, the correct technique. If you, let's see it here, I think it's out. Yeah, way out. That was a really bad line call. If you have this more like, again in quotation mark, girlish technique with a bigger swing, then it's not possible to jump smash because you have to take up your arm in a certain way in order to help you jump.
Yeah. Fascinating. Now, what's the umpire waiting for here? Yeah. Well, the umpire is now calling for the tournament referee. We could clearly see it was out. We saw it on the giant screen. The umpire didn't. It is quite clearly out. But the umpire wasn't aware of that, that's all.
Service over. 9-3.
So that's all sorted out, that's all right. I like that umpiring though, Steve. Yeah. Here we see it again, it's quite clearly out. He wasn't sure because he'd missed it on the giant screen. He calls the tournament referee just to have it clarified rather than trying to make a decision himself. Good umpiring, I like that. I like that smash too.
There's a jump smash again.
Yeah.
Of course, the closer you get to the net, the more sense it makes to make a jump smash, and especially in the doubles where you have a partner who can help you cover the court. So, in that way, the likelihood of killing it directly on the jump smash or making a, that's all.
Yeah.
Or making a very, very good shot should decide how enticed you'd be to use the jump smash. Beautiful touch.
Yeah.
Service over. 5-10.
Yeah. Good placement of the smash there from the Koreans, and they have a 6-point advantage at the mid-game interval. So it's a healthy lead. 6-point advantage for the number 6 seeds from Korea. Yeah, that's gone wide. And I think the choice of ends might prove to be vital.
Service over. 6-12.
Oh, miss hit.
Very, very impressive when they're on the attack, the Chinese pair.
7-12.
Not too shabby though in defence, are they, in all honesty? Proves your point about the completeness of them both as players.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. We saw them beat Matsutomo and Takahashi, these two Chinese girls here, and it's going to be interesting to see the next 2 years, because Matsutomo and Takahashi, they are very, very much locked into their roles on court. They don't have the same ability to rotate.
No.
Doing pretty well without it, but are they going to do that in the future as well? That's going to be interesting.
And it was actually something I was going to ask you, because I mean, I was thinking after your previous comments also about the men's doubles and how an awful lot of the top pairs. I know Lee Yong-dae is now retired, but Lee Yong-dae and Yu Young-sung had their set formation. So did the world champions.
Asan Sechuan.
Exactly. And Boa Morgensen have very much a front court player. I think about the top women's doubles pairs up until now, this point, and how they've had their set positions or favoured formation on court, with one very much better at the front of the court. Do you think this is how the game is developing across both disciplines, the men's and women's doubles, in that you will have to have very much complete players in all departments?
Yeah, I think perhaps this is one of the situations where women's doubles are first movers. Because when I sometimes give some tactical clinics, and I think one of the things that I emphasize is that the overall strength of a double is dependable on the ability to function in the opposite role of your preferred role. So I think, and that goes even more for women's doubles than for men's doubles, because in women's doubles, as their defense is relatively stronger to the female smashes than the men's defense to the male smashes, you won't be able to stand in your preferred role all the time.
Yeah.
The men's doubles is, I mean, there's so much emphasis on the service situation.
Yeah.
And I think the way out of that is the one that we've seen Lee Yong-dae and Yo Young-sung and some of the Koreans simply have an outstanding defense. So I think maybe we'll see pairs developing even better defenses.
Chance was there for the left-hander. Well, your comments there, not only do I find extremely interesting, they echo something that Morten Frost said to me, because I was sitting chatting to him about Asan and Setia-won about to play against Lee Yong-dae and Yu Young-sung, and I said, well, it's the battle of the two best front court players in the world, and whichever one plays better today will win the match for the pair. And he said, no, Jill, it's the other player in the partnership that will make the difference.
Yeah. And the drift.
Yeah.
If the drift is very unpredictable and very strong, then Asan and Sechuan would have the upper hand. If there's almost no drift, the Korean with the defense would have the upper hand.
Missed it.
And they're in dire straits now, the Korean pair.
Yeah. Well, the umpire allowing the players to tail down, very much to the benefit of the Koreans. 4 straight points for the Chinese pair. And 6 of the last 7 points.
14-11.
好球！
Play, lead, play. Fifty, 11.
Well, Chinese wanted the shuttle changed, the Koreans didn't, but the umpire agreed with the Chinese pair. Yeah, you must get ready quicker.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it when the Koreans asked to towel down there, and
Good rally. Oh, great interception from Yinhui.
7 over, 12, 15.
so this is a situation where Lee So-hee was asking permission to towel down and was denied, and I can understand why she was denied, but then again, you're not allowed to flick away sweat. So I actually liked it when they first started this running score system where you were not allowed to towel down, and then it was apparent that it wasn't good enough because the players were sweating so much that it would be dangerous on the court. So we had this little box on the other side of the court with a towel in it. You didn't have all your other belongings there. You couldn't get something to drink or put powder on your racket or anything, but you could just have a quick towel down. Well played there.
Yeah, that was well played, wasn't it?
7 over, 16.
And that's, in my opinion, that's one of the important things in women's doubles right now, is to never get out of balance.
Well, I can tell you that some strapping was removed from Lee Yinhui's leg. She's put the support back on,
Yeah.
and the strapping that was underneath the support is gone.
So in my opinion, it would be fantastic if we could get rid of all these situations where there's no actual rule. It's up to the decision of the umpire what is allowed and when, and so I wouldn't mind a clock saying, okay, can we towel down? Yeah, we can restart the clock. There's 10 seconds, and after 10 seconds we've got to be ready to play again.
Yeah. My only fear about that is that there'll be more and more players asking for the court to be mopped, and that's the way around it. So that if they're doing it for a deliberate break.
Yeah, I still think it's possible to make some arrangements, because I mean,
Yeah, we need to look at it.
There's very, very big differences on how much mopping you need when you're on a good run and how much mopping you need when things are not going your way.
Yeah.
7 over, 37.
Yeah, they're both very decisive when they go forward to the net. Oh, I like that. Missed.
Service over. 18-30.
Oh,
Shot,
lovely.
good shot.
Lovely.
适应你这个节奏，这个节奏。
Service over. 14.
Creative. Good disguise. And a great angle. Look at that. That racket head slicing across the feathers. Beautiful shot from Yinhui.
Play. Service over. 19-14.
2 points away from taking this second game, forcing a decider. One point away.
It was too easy mistakes by Huang Dongping.
Yeah.
14.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that was a very, very extravagant shot to try. It's a one-game all. 21-14 confirms the umpire. 53 minutes into the match, and it's one game apiece.
우리가 상단을 잡아가지고 이제 네타도 붙이려고 이렇게 해서 상단을 잡으면 네타도 붙이려고 해도 이렇게 압박한단 말이야. 그거 어떻게 해? 그냥 붙이면 안 돼. 들어오는 게 보이면 갔다가 중간볼에서 중간볼로 툭 걸어주고 어떻게 각 잡아야 돼. 툭 걸어주고 가운데로 들어오면 안 되고 하나 딱 걸어주면 걸어준 사람은 반대 뒷사람은 반대 봐봐. 그리고 만약에 압박하려고 우리가 내려놓으려는데 압박 안 해. 그때는 똑같이 지금처럼 내려놓고 우리가 먼저 압박.
Yes, the call of 20 seconds, and that's a clear indication for the players to return to court. So one game all. Will it be fifth time lucky for this left-hander? A fifth Super Series tournament final today. Still looking for a first title. was just going through my mind something, Steve, that's awfully cruel, and I don't know whether I should mention it or not. I don't know what the record is for the number of Super Series tournament finals for a female athlete without having a win. No. I know, did Targo, was he...
He never won.
And was he in 6 or 7?
I don't recall that, but...
Axelson's been in 6.
Axelson's been in 6.
Yeah. Anyway, she's behind that, so...
Yeah.
There's certain stats and records you just don't want to be a part of, do you?
Yeah, exactly.
Broken strings again from Lee So-hee. Now, Steen, I know it's very, very early stages of this deciding game, but I don't know whether the Chinese pair have been told to tactically mix up the pace a little bit more, or whether perhaps they're a little bit jaded, a little bit fatigued. But certainly in the first 3 rallies, I think there's been signs that, whereas in the opening game we had a lot of very heavy smashing attack, didn't we? And they were definitely mixing it up a lot more. So I don't know whether that's tiredness or whether that's a tactical decision. Brilliant play from the left-handed Chang. Went forward at exactly the right moment.
After calling the picture here, but one of the problems for the Chinese pair in their attack now is that they have trouble activating the front court player when attacking. The Koreans are doing a really good job of playing flat past the front court player.
That was another nice interception. Good rally. It was a very, very good use of a punch clear down the centre of the court.
It definitely was, and I feel that Huang and Li are going to have to use that even when they change ends, because it sort of moves the Korean defense one foot or 1.5 foot away from the net, that they have to return a clear once in a while, and gives the front court player a much better opportunity of intercepting.
fabulous.
움직여줘야 돼요. 그냥
Goodness me, they have to work hard to get it on the floor, don't they? Korean pair. Again, the umpire allowing them to towel down. We are over the hour mark now. Both these Korean players have World Championship medals. Chang Yinhui silver with Huang, and Lee So-hee a bronze with Shin Sung-chan. So it's not surprising they're a good pair playing together.
No, it took a little while for the Korean team management to find the right combinations, but they've definitely found it now.
Hey. That's about the first time that they've really got confused. Both leaving it for the other, but what good placement of the block. Right in between them both. Oh, yeah. Now, who should that have been? Probably the player on the cross court, do you think, Steen? Difficult to say.
But I think so. I think that the Chinese prefer this position with Li Yinhui at the back and Huang Dongping at the net. Ask them to select that position or the opposite. I think they will go with that.
Well spotted, umpire. One Chinese player about to serve. Got it right now. Li Yinhui. Oh, I like that.
Good answer from Chang Yinhui to that clear. instead of clearing back and giving the Chinese pair an opportunity of attacking again. Just played it below the tape.
Yeah, that was clearly, wasn't it? Now, judgment going is quite often a sign of fatigue.
And there's not much rotation on the Chinese pair now.
No. It's gone on.
Yeah. And this is what I mean, if you don't rotate, then if the other pair has a really good defense and great tactical awareness, that could be exploited.
Now, Huang Dongping is removing strapping from her right calf muscle. It was a nice idea from Lee So-hee.
7-4, 9-7.
Oh my goodness. Oh! Chinese player were way out of position. And the Koreans couldn't exploit it. Look, there was nobody on the cross court. Yeah.
7 over. 8, 10.
In this position here, when they have Huang Dongping to the left and the Koreans have their attack, that's mostly a good situation for the Koreans. Been able to convert a number of attack situations when target Huang Dongping.
Luck of the net court. And now just 1 point the deficit.
Look how far to the left Chang Yinhui is standing, so the Koreans are sort of packing it up in the left side of the court there.
That's a very good smash too.
10 all.
Yeah, it was actually quite a flat smash.
Yeah, I wondered whether it was aimed towards that
Yeah.
left shoulder.
If it was brilliant. Because that is one of the possibilities you have if you have trouble activating your front court player, that you can actually aim higher. You can make a more flat smash instead of a steep smash, and that will often give an opportunity for your front court player to be involved immediately after.
Oh my goodness. Well, on a run of 4 straight points,
11, 10.
it is the Koreans who have the advantage at the change of ends. Not only 4 straight points, 7 of the last 9 points.
节奏可以变，一个快发慢发，两个人商量一下，前面全是慢点，这个变一点，跳点后点弓，包括发后掌突发，商量一下，商量这不对的。再一个，你的职责就是抢我，所有的球就抢，让他是在后面组织，别想退，因为他现在对你的进攻已经适应了，把你抢，你一起来看我啊！所有的球你什么球都抢，都抢放篮板上，所以你来给他组织，我让你一会去抢我，所有的精力都在抢我给你组织上面，知道吧？
走。
11, 10, play.
So the momentum, without question, with the Koreans at the moment. 7 of the last 9 points. Oh, and that is just beautiful. What a super shot by the left-hander.
12, 10.
Great move forward by Yinhui, forcing this mistake. The Korean player can see that there's a Chinese player coming forward and she needs to play it really close to the tape. Could manage, and point for Huang.
Oh, look at that defense.
Great interception.
Coach is happy with that.
And now we can see where Chen and these two players, they've got this very animated style from.
Yes, from the female coach.
I listened in on some of the Danish commentary from French Open, and they felt that it became a little bit too much with Chen's cheering and joy, and I have to say I disagree with them on that. I mean, for years we've been sort of wanting some emotions on court. I think it's refreshing.
Yeah, I felt at times in Paris that it was a little overdone. I have to agree with your Danish colleagues. I love to see the celebrations, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
Steen. But there are times when, just as Kevin Sanjay's Sukamuljo annoys some opponents with his antics and celebrations, I felt there was one or two occasions. But in general, I like to see the celebrations, yes.
Yeah, me too. Especially Chen, I feel that she's celebrating for herself, the same as those two players here. I don't think they're trying to influence the opponents in any way.
No,
I can see that Sukamuljo
yeah,
sometimes is doing that, but
yeah.
well, he's going to meet someone today who's also got their fair share of playing with the opponent's minds. They're too far back, in my opinion, the Koreans.
What, move the defense
that
forward?
was better. Yeah.
Yeah.
She did that again. It's the second time she's tried that shot, Chang Yinhui, and Li Yinhui is just intercepting it.
Yeah.
She's got that covered, that's closed. Maybe smash placement from Huang Dongping makes it the most like this shot. I thought they did so well, the Koreans, when they played these flat defensive return shots. Makes it much more difficult for the front court player to intercept.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's very, very well worked by the Koreans.
50-30.
altogether. Completely mistimed it. Touched her racket, touched her racket. Oh, we need to see that again. I was convinced. Here we go, here we go. Oh no, I was wrong. I was wrong, she touched it after it had landed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was definitely out.
Did we have a call on that?
The umpire has got it correct. Yeah, well, very good umpiring, because my initial reaction was that she had touched the shuttle before it landed, but she touched the shuttle after it had landed. So the call remains, and it was out.
I have a feeling that the situation might be getting to Lee So-hee. That mishit, and now a service that wasn't the best of serves.
Well, it's all very tense out there now, isn't it?
It is.
50.
야, 천천히.
Oh, being attacked by
Wildlife.
insects.
17-15. Standard miles in. What was she thinking? Li Yinhui. Well, I said earlier, Steen, that I thought sometimes that when your judgment goes, that's an indication of fatigue.
Yeah.
No, 3-point advantage and 3 points away from the title. The number 6 seeds from Korea. Oh, it's going wide.
Yes.
That's a great defence, great defence. What a rally. Best rally of the match, easily. Oh, I don't believe it. The slight hesitation with the channel attack between the two Korean players. And they make the error, but my goodness, what a fabulous fabulous rally. 65 shots.
Play.
65 excellent shots.
I like that backhand. What a rally again! And the crowd stunned into silence.
90-60.
Well, this is amazing. Look at this. Look at that commitment going forward to the net. Brilliant. Brilliant.
똑같이 패턴 똑같이 소야. 우리가 급했지만 패턴 똑같이 가져가면 우리가 찬스볼 왔을
Yeah,
때
keep calm, but keep it going down. 2 points needed for a first ever Super Series title in their 3rd final as a pair.
Play.
Yeah, no wonder she's disappointed without Huang Dongping.
Big opportunity.
Huge opportunity. Yeah. Because that error means that the Koreans have 4 match point opportunities. One well saved by the Chinese pair.
우리가 잡히는 게 아니라 우리가 잡히는 게 아니라 우리 이기는 거.
They're looking a little apprehensive, aren't they, the Chinese coaches?
Saved it. It's long.
It's gone long. And for the Koreans, as a pair, it is indeed 3rd time lucky. Their 3rd Super Series tournament final, their 2nd back-to-back, having been beaten in the final in Paris at the French Open. Here at the China Premier Super Series, they win their 1st Super Series title, and they've done it the hard way. Coming from a game down to win in 3 thrilling games, an hour and a half of pulsating badminton. 13-21, 21-14, 21-17 in the deciding game. Exactly an hour and a half in duration. What a match, and at long last a 1st Super Series title for Chang and Lee So-hee.
双打颁奖仪式现在开始，有请获奖运动员入场。
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Thaihot, China Open 2016 part of M1-WD World Superseries Premier. The Winter Cup Women's Double awarding ceremony will start shortly. Please welcome the winners.
获得泰国2016年中国羽毛球公开赛轮头集团杯女子双打亚军的运动员是来自中国的黄东萍、李英辉。
Well, a first Super Series tournament final for the Chinese youngsters in only their 5th ever tournament together. And that is a remarkable achievement in itself. But for the number 6 seeds in their 3rd Super Series tournament final as a pair, Chang and Li So-hee win their first Super Series title.
Standing committee member of Fuzhou Municipal Committee of Communist Party of China.
Mr. Kai Shang making the presentations. Well, for the Yinhui, no longer the possibility of a doubles double. But look at the joy for the Korean pair, and especially for Chang Ye-na in a 5th Super Series tournament final at long last. She has finally won a title.
有请福乐文化旅游投资集团有限公司副总经理陈杰先生为获奖运动员颁发纪念品。
The souvenir will be presented by Mr. Chen Jie, Vice Manager of the Board of Fuzhou Culture, Tourism Investment Group Company.
And the souvenirs presented by Mr. Chen Ji, Vice General Manager of the Board of Fuzhou Cultural and Tourism Investment Group Limited.
有请颁奖嘉宾和获奖运动员合影留念。
It's photo call.
女子双打颁奖仪式到此结束，请颁奖嘉宾和获奖运动员会场。
Ladies and gentlemen, please conclude the award ceremony for Winter Cup women's doubles.
So that's the first of our finals complete. Next up is women's singles, and after the women's singles we have men's doubles, and Gideon and Sukamuljo of Indonesia looking for a 3rd Super Series title of the year. They're up against the 2-time former champions Bo and Morganson. Then after the men's doubles we'll have the men's singles, and it's a remarkable stat to me that neither of the finalists have won a Super Series title this year. Jan Jorgensen has been in a final, but Chen Long, the world and Olympic champion, today is his 6th appearance in a final here at the China Open. Then we finish with mixed doubles. Well, as far as the Super Series standings are concerned with the women's singles, the number 1 and 2 after this week in China will remain the same. Whether Sun Yu wins today's final or loses today's final, she'll swap places with Ratchanuk Intanon. And indeed, the 5 and 6 will swap places as well. Song Ji-hyun, who was semi-finalist here yesterday, she will go up to number 5. And Hebing Jiao, who has won 2 Super Series titles this year, including the last one, the French, will go down to 6. Well, as far as the women's singles draw is concerned, 7 different nations involved at quarter-final stage, and that's more different nationalities involved in the women's singles than any other discipline here at the China Open. Just 5 seeds, though. When we got to semi-finals, it was 4 different nations and 4 different seeds. And in the top half of the draw, it was the battle of which of the 2 players was going to reach a 4th Super Series final this year. And of course, it was Sun Yu